For as long as I could remember, I'd been the family's invisible solution. Rent short this month? I covered it. Groceries before payday. My card? Car repair that couldn't wait? Sent the money? Weekend getaway because they really needed a break? Somehow that was me too. It was never framed like a demand. Always, could you help just this once? And I always did, because just this once had become permanent. I told myself it was love, responsibility, being the reliable one. What I didn't admit was how often my own plans got postponed, how my savings never quite grew, how my life always seemed to wait until everyone else was comfortable first. Then came the call. My mom's voice was bright and breathless. In the background, I could hear the echo of an airport terminal, rolling suitcases, boarding announcements, people laughing too loudly. "Hey, sweetheart, quick question. Can you watch the dogs while we're in Italy?" "Italy?" I repeated, blinking. "Yeah, Rome, Florence, maybe Venice. We're still figuring it out," she said, like she was listing groceries. "It's just 2 weeks. You love Muffin and Oliver anyway, right?" I looked down at Muffin, who was trying to steal my sock, and Oliver, who was dramatically sighing on the couch like life was exhausting. "Yeah," I said. "Of course, I can do that." "Perfect! You're a lifesaver," she said, then added, "We're boarding soon, so I gotta run. Love you." The line went dead before I could ask when they planned this. I went to make coffee, still processing Italy, when my phone buzzed. Bank notification, then another. And another. Flights, hotels, train tickets, museum passes, gondola reservations. Even a very expensive-looking dinner reservation with a name I couldn't pronounce. All on my card. No warning, no conversation. No. "Hey, can we put this on your account and pay you back?" Just assumption. I sat at the kitchen table, coffee forgotten, phone in my hand, heart pounding. And for the first time in years, I thought, what if I don't fix this? I still walked the dogs, still fed them, still tried to pretend this was normal. But the charges kept coming. Airport snacks, seat upgrades, luggage fees. It felt like watching my bank account slowly bleed out. I called my sister. "Did you guys mean to put all of this on my card?" I asked. She didn't even sound embarrassed. "Oh, yeah, Mom said it was fine. We'll pay you back later." "Later when?" I asked. Pause. "You always help. It's not a big deal, right?" Not a big deal. I stared at the wall after we hung up, at the bills I always paid, at the plans I always postponed, at how comfortable everyone was spending money that wasn't theirs. That afternoon, I called the bank. The rep was polite. "Which charges are you disputing?" "All of the Italy ones," I said. "Every single one." She warned me the card would be frozen. "I understand," I said. And I did. One by one, we flagged them. When I hung up, my hands were shaking, but not with fear, with relief. Muffin bumped my leg. Oliver thumped his tail. "Looks like it's just us for a while," I told them. The messages started before they even landed. Then the calls. Then the panic. "Sister, why is nothing working?" "Mom, call me now." "Brother, the hotel says our reservation is flagged." "What did you do?" I answered when my mom called again. "We're at the desk in Rome," she said, voice tight. "They're saying the card was declined." "What's going on?" "The bank probably flagged international charges I didn't approve," I said calmly. "What do you mean you didn't approve them? This is our trip." "They're on my card," I said. "I didn't agree to pay for it." In the background, I could hear raised voices and rolling suitcases. "You can't do this to us," my sister said, grabbing the phone. "We're in another country." "I'm sure the hotel can help you figure something out," I said. "You're adults." They hung up. For the first time, I didn't chase the mess. The updates didn't stop, even though I thought I'd mentally checked out. First came a text from my mom. "Hotel in Florence says they need cash. Can you—" I stared at the message, blinked, and typed back. "They want cash? Do you have cash? Or maybe they accept a card?" No answer for a while. Then my phone buzzed again. "We'll figure it out. Can you just send it? Quick, please." I sighed, rubbing my temples. This isn't babysitting. This is a financial endurance test. Then the train ticket problem. My brother called, voice sharp with irritation. Hey, the ticket's not working. What do we do? What do you mean not working? I asked. The card you charged it to. It declined. Again. And now they won't let us board. I pinched the bridge of my nose. You booked on my card, didn't check the limit, and now? What? Exactly, he said. You always handle this stuff. We didn't plan for this. Yes, exactly. The words bounced in my head like a cruel echo. You always handle this stuff. They didn't even have to ask. It was automatic. Meanwhile, my own days were calm, almost luxurious in their simplicity. Mornings filled with the smell of brewing coffee and muffin pawing at my ankles. Walks that didn't require herding 2 dogs through crowded streets or worrying about luggage. Evenings were quiet, the hum of a fan, a soft blanket, and a dinner I cooked just for me. Spaghetti with garlic, herbs from the windowsill, wine that was actually mine. They sent pictures, of course. My phone lit up with smiles from my mom as they stood in front of the Colosseum, my brother trying to pose dramatically on the Ponte Vecchio, snapshots of gelato melting faster than they could eat it. Venice's canals shimmered in golden sunset light. I scrolled through the photos, feeling a weird mix of amusement and relief. They were living the trip, just not the luxury version they'd imagined on my card. I imagined them cringing over every declined transaction, muttering under their breaths, juggling hotel front desks, taxis, and their own expectations. And for once, that discomfort wasn't mine to carry. I didn't have to smooth over a credit card problem, apologize for someone else's carelessness, or feel guilty about it afterward. I poured another cup of coffee, watched Muffin chase Oliver across the living room, and thought, this is nice. Really nice. Maybe this is what peace feels like. When they finally came back, it was like the energy in the air had shifted. They didn't walk in with sun-kissed smiles and bags of souvenirs. They walked in tired, exhausted, reality check tired. Mom immediately went for the dogs, crouching down, burying her face in Muffin's fur. Oh, I missed you, little one, she whispered. Oliver wagged his tail like a tiny metronome, happy to be back in familiar territory. Then she looked at me. There was no bright, breezy, thank you for being me tone this time. She just hugged me quietly, sincerely. Thanks for watching them, she said, voice soft. Of course, I said, shrugging, trying for casual. Hope Italy was educational? No one laughed. No one tried to make a joke. But no one argued either. That silence carried more weight than any conversation they could have tried. It was acknowledgement, accountability. And I realized how long it had been since they just paused to consider me. After that, things started to shift. Gradually, almost imperceptibly at first. They asked before spending. Can we put this on your card, or do you want to split it? My mom asked one evening, and I almost didn't recognize her. Assumptions faded. My account was no longer the default solution to every problem. Even the small stuff changed. They offered to cover dog-sitting costs, then accepted that sometimes I just wanted a weekend off. For the first time in years, I wasn't the family ATM. I wasn't the invisible safety net. I was me. And that felt better than any vacation they could have ever put on my card. Better than any trip they could have dreamed of. Sitting in my quiet apartment that evening, Muffin curled in my lap and Oliver snoozing at my feet, I finally let myself smile. I didn't need a gondola ride or gelato in Venice to feel rich. I had peace. And for now, that was more than enough.